I'm sure you have heard the statistic that we have something like 60,000 thoughts every day. Most of us have heard that. And furthermore, about 95% of those thoughts are exactly the same as the day before. So we are having the same thoughts over and over and over. And why is that relevant? It's relevant if you are committed to healing, if you are committed to transformation, because the old you, the current you, let's say, is having a bunch of thoughts, but the different version of you will have different thoughts, right? However, you don't just change your thoughts, right? You change yourself and then the thoughts come to you. So I was recently talking to a client who is paving a new path. She's committed to transformation, she is healing, she is creating something new in her life. And she was struggling with this discomfort of growing and experiencing something positive, actually repeatedly positive. Actually, a number of my clients are going through this. But this one particular one that just has kind of crystallized this in my mind, how all the positive stuff is a little bit unnerving. You would think, right? We're all after the good stuff, and yet somehow it's challenging, right? So what does this have to do with the thoughts? I had this client pause and focus herself, and not just her thoughts, not just her mind, focus on her experience of this one positive thing that she was going through. And I asked her to pause there and see if she can experience it fully, right? You don't need to go too deeply into it. A feeling, in contrast to thoughts, a feeling, the fullness of your feeling is 90 seconds at most. Anything beyond that is you telling yourself a story about those feelings. So that's why, you focus on your experience. It's not a long endeavor. But I had her focus on this new state. And what happened was she had no thoughts, right? The ego gets very nervous when you don't have thoughts. And so it creates them. Oh, I'm not having any thoughts. Oh, I don't know who I am. Oh, I better think of this next thing I have to do, and what's for dinner, and what's wrong with me, and you just go on because the ego's used to filling the blanks. But when you're in a new experience, when you're in someplace new, you don't have thoughts. Those 5% of the time when you have a new thought have an opportunity to arise right then, if they're going to at all, right? If you're going to have a new thought. So this is your indicator, and this is why I'm sharing this, your indicator for healing, for transformation, is those moments when you don't think, and you're not suppressing thinking because you are in a new experience. It's not necessarily entirely new, but it is new in a moment, right? So I have one of my favorite teachers is Carrie Kay. She's wonderful. I am Carrie Kay is her tag on Instagram. At the end of her videos, she says, "From my heart all the way to yours." And then she pauses. And that pause is, it's unusual in that it's in a video, right? Videos are usually filled with content and people stitch them so close together so there's no gaps and people aren't staring off into the sunset and saying a bunch of times, right? But she pauses on purpose. And that, to me, I've seen hundreds of her videos. I don't know if she has hundreds. I've seen dozens of her videos. And every time she makes that pause, oh, I'm getting eaten here. Every time she makes that pause is a new moment for me, because it it asks me to stop absorbing in my head and go into my heart and go into, oh, this person, she doesn't know me. She's not here for me. She's creating a video, but she's holding the community, the energy of those people who are tuning into her material. She's holding it in her, holding us in her heart. And that is such a new moment that when I sit with that, and she says, from my heart all the way to yours, and she pauses. She pauses for like 3 seconds, okay? It's not a meditation or anything like that. But that's always a new moment. So it's repeated, right? It's familiar to other moments I've had with her, and yet, right? So that's what I'm speaking to, the fact that it's not necessarily like entirely new. You've literally never been in this state before. But that is your indicator that when you don't have thoughts, and I think it's a good thing to aspire to on a day-to-day basis, to have those moments where something is so new that you can't think. There's nothing to think. You're just there. We have those, again, I'm in nature, I'm getting eaten by bugs, but we have those moments in nature more often than we have them indoors. But you can have them indoors too, if it's winter, if it's cold, if you can't get out for any reason, right? You can find those moments. It's about looking. It's about knowing that that's an opportunity and wanting that opportunity in your experience. So hopefully this gives you some food for thought, some food for experience. I'm going to go home because I'm getting eaten by bugs. So much love. Thank you for watching. Check out my website, deeperstillhealing.com, if you're interested in working with me. I'm available. All my links are up so you can register if you're interested. Yeah, take care.